Hey everyone, how you doing? My name is Enrique Reyes. I am an admin for a Facebook group on the web, and it is called "A Narcissist and a Neuropsychologist Walk into the Bar." And it's primarily a self-help group that helps recovering narcissists, people who are codependent, people who suffer from ADD, ADHD, depression, OCD, different forms of all those, different variations of all those. And we are just starting a Zoom web presence that goes directly on YouTube too, to help people, and getting bigger and bigger. And let me introduce you to Alicia. Say hi.
Hello.
Alicia is one of my admins, and she is a good friend of mine. And she just wanted to talk, have these kind of shorter segments. The first videos that I had were about introducing the members, and we're going to get more focused on specific topics. So maybe it might be on OCD, maybe on relationships, might be on therapy, it might be on medicine, it might be on ways to get out of depression. So we're going to kind of get more concise on that. So I think today I think we agreed we wanted to talk about environment.
Yep.
And the company that you keep, and how healthy it is for your mental health. For your further progression into a healthy mental health plan. You know, obviously, if I'm in a den full of crack addicts, it might not be the healthiest. So somewhere below crack addict and church might be a good result. So
I didn't realize we were talking about crack today.
Yeah, so the reason why this is important, because me being a recovered narcissist, the company that I would like to keep when I was a narcissist is searching out and finding women that were damaged, women that were codependent, women that if you look at what's happening in the relationship, if you describe an amp or the empathetic, it's someone who's got a lot of love. It's got a lot of giving, a lot of sharing, and a lot of nurturing, caring. And then you have the narcissist who feeds off that. Hello, it's in heaven. So you can kind of see how the two match up, because that's what the narcissist needs. It needs someone on the opposite end to give them love, to give them undying compassion, support. It's when it's unhealthy, and when you're giving up yourself, especially when you're talking about obviously the empath, and when it goes into a volatile state, i.e., the narcissist is giving you a false presence 3 months down the line. Guess what? There's no empathy there. It's a falsehood. It is a shield. It's a mask. You have to watch out for that falsehood, and then that's why we have to be aware of the company or the environment that we keep.
Yeah, someone like me, the codependent, who wanted to hold in there for hope that we could fix you.
And you can't.
No, you can't. You have to put yourself first. I mean, speaking from the codependent side of it, they have to, well, anybody, you need to put yourself first and care about the environment you surround yourself in. It matters. People draining you all the time, sucking the life force out of you. It's simple math. It works like a bank. It's not going to work if you just surround yourself with people that need to be fixed, that are always taking. You need to surround yourself with people who genuinely invest in your well-being. You have to keep your own oxygen mask straight, or you're not going to be of any use to anyone else. You'll die trying.
Yeah, and that's just the basic dynamic of a narcissistic and codependent relationship, which is almost always the case of a volatile start, finish, and ending. And in the beginning, it's great because the narcissist is giving everything that they
love bombing.
Yeah, love bombing. I love you. This is going to do this and that, and it makes their dreams come true. And I can fake appearing that I'm kind, that I love, that I want, that everything that the amp wants to hear, I'm going to deliver. So I've said this many times before, the most perfect narcissist is a good-looking, good-bodied, well-spoken, educated person. That's the most damaging person that there is. And covert, because you're not seeing the human side of it. You're not seeing the facial features, you're not seeing the body movement. It's so well hidden, and they're such perfect actors that you go into this play with them, and they're acting. Unfortunately, that's them, and they're not aware of that. They just want the company that they get. They want their environment to depict everything that they can in someone of the main focus of doing a manipulation. They can cheat on them, they can lie to them, they can physically abuse them, verbally abuse them.
The gaslighting.
Yeah, gaslighting, love bombing, all the things that you know that you've been through, Alicia, what I've caused in women to do, which is horrible. And then you wonder why they stay, and the imp wants to fix. The imp still has that dream, the nurture nature, you know, and it's only until they understand that it is volatile that they can get to a place where you can leave. Now it's getting better, basically. And that comes from a myriad of things. It could be you have your amp is one thing, but you have someone maybe obviously too much love and caring, that people are like a sponge. So narcissists expunging that out, but it's not in a healthy manner. You know, I love to love someone, I love to care about someone, but you're always looking at the core. You're looking at where it stems from. You know, that's why it's good to sit back, like in the beginning of a relationship. You know, just don't jump into it and have sex, and then you start being with someone, living with someone. Then all the mask falls. You're like, this isn't what I signed up for. You know, a long, nice courting is recommended to drop those filters with narcissists. You know, that's something you can look at too, and see where your issues come from too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, you said a healthy standpoint. It's healthy to care. It's healthy to love. Yeah. And it's good to recognize narcissism as a disorder. It's not someone that's a monster. It's an actual disorder. So that's good to recognize that and not hate them. At the same time, you do have to also recognize any damage it could cause to you and protect yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a balance. It's a tricky balance to actually care and love.
Yeah.
And also do what you need to do for yourself first.
Yeah. So when you finally realize that you might not be, for whatever reason it is, in a not healthy relationship, you want to sit back. You know, a lot of times, especially with the narcissist, one of the main things you can do is no contact. And what that does, that stops the feed and take, the sponge action of giving that the empath does, and the receiving that the narcissist does. And you have to look at many things on that. You have to look at where you're going from there. If it's long term, a lot of times the codependent, the suffering from narcissistic abuse, and it's this long term damage of just gaslighting. It's the belittling. It's the falsehood that's there, and they're almost in a shock. You know, the narcissist goes on, does what he does, and finds someone else to feed off of. Those are something you want to look at too on the post end is getting out of that relationship. You want to see why you guys connected, you know, why you might be giving out or searching for someone to receive your love. You know, I'm always for starting with always professional help, you know, friends, family also, you know. And, you know, one of the things that's always, I would always talk about is that, you know, when you come at this in a professional level or a science level, I'm not looking to hate anyone. I'm not looking at to kill or hurt or just discredit the narcissist. You know, when you understand that they don't know what they're doing and it is a mental block or disability cultivated from childhood, you understand that a lot of times it's not their issue. Same with codependent. No one's wrong. It's not about the looking at it wrong or they're broken. It's just how they are. And how do we go forward in a safe way? What's the safest way that someone who might be damaged, that might have issues with self-image or sexual abuse, or a lot of times it's just being aware, having individual wants and needs that aren't met. It could be anything. It just depends on how sensitive you are and how you grew up as a child, and also your brain, your chemistry, and how that is. You know, some people are more prone to addiction, just like some people are more prone to having hurt from the smallest things.
Yeah, I mean, it really, breaks my heart to think of anyone having to abandon another person, but especially when you're trying to get healthy yourself, sometimes you just have to. You can't have those constant attacks and confusing messages coming in when you're trying to heal yourself. It is so important
That is true.
to get help for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, some of the basics are obviously if you're in a violent relationship, the first thing you want to do is make sure that, especially if you have kids, you know, you want to make sure that you're healthy. And if you're not healthy because you're getting hit or you're in violence, first thing obviously call 911 if that's in immediate danger. And you want either have a place or a backup plan you can go to, like girlfriends, a trusted partner, friend, i.e. friend, you know, family member. And you don't know what's going to happen, because a lot of times when you leave a narcissist, you're talking about an environment to where now all of a sudden their feed is gone and they don't have anyone there. They're going to put the rage into you, and they will find you and they will act out on that rage. And I don't know, you have to look at a lot of things to see it can be violence, but it's one of those things where you have the no contact, and that's what it came up of. It's so that you can have a clean separation break from the narcissist. You know, number one, you're getting immediate danger, 911. Number two, try to find a place to remove yourself from that environment and to go forward. And obviously, out of safety's way, out of harm's way from danger. You know, danger because you're done with it and you don't want to get hit. You know, and
well, it's not just physical danger though. Emotional danger can be even worse.
Yeah. Actually, Alicia, that's a good point. I always forget. Some people say that the worst tools that the narcissist has in his arsenal is actually the verbal abuse. And it, like, let's say covert, you're looking at little digs, passive aggressiveness over time that really just kills your spirit. And that too, but when it does get dangerous, obviously leave the situation and try to get help and try to look for local support, women's groups, shelters. If the shelters are safe, you know, you don't want to go back into an environment where it's unhealthy.
Right.
Something that's kind of like, let's say it's common sense, but when you're trying not to get beat up, hurt, and killed, going to another environment is probably the best option, but not if it's in the same place. So that's where you can call too. You can call and we can try to find, you know, internet work on what's safe in your area. Is there a woman's halfway house? Can you help? Can someone take you in that is for a woman's shelter? Is there another state fund, private, or is there a government funded facility that might take you in for AA or drug addiction or abuse? What's out there? Gay and lesbian, transgender, they're great for resources too, and then can help. You know, I would rather sleep on my friend's floor than get verbally and physically abused. So, I mean, if you're looking at all options, especially when your life is in danger, you know, but it's something that it's a big step to get out of that relationship, because it's sad to see a relationship, any relationship, stop. But if you don't see it, and it takes getting to that level to leave, it's my heart's still breaking on my last relationship, and I did all the damage, you know. And it's just I want everything to work out, but then you realize that it's not healthy because my brain wasn't in the right frame of mind. I was thinking I was totally fine, and I wasn't. And on both sides of the coin, you know, ultimately everyone has to be healthy. You know, again, at the beginning of the talk about environment. What's your environment like? Are you still attracting guys that are physically, verbally abusing you? Are you still attracting partners, any gender, that are not good for you? Are they feeding off something from you, sponging? Are you giving off too much? You know, are you in a healthy place to have a relationship? You know, all these questions have to be looked. And if you want to go forward, if you want to go forward and have a healthy relationship, and it takes time. You have to build a tribe. And you talk about tribe again. Environment. It's tribe. I wish we went back to tribe mentality where everyone helped the little baby get born. And it's like two people in the household, and you can't work because the baby is sick at home and there's no one there. Mom and dad, they're passed away, they're gone. Tribe mentality back in my culture too. Everyone took care of everyone, to their babies, to their old, and we got rid of that. And it's sad. So now we need to replace that with resources of building your own tribe. Like I consider Alicia, who's admin, and Natasha and L, it's my tribe here, and we're getting more people in that we can count on. Good, solid, honest people who are healthy or are getting on their way to be healthy, that I know that their values are in the right place and they're doing the best that they can wherever they're at. And that's an idea of what I'm talking about tribe-wise. You know, tribe-wise, back in my ancestry is also a good indication of tribe. But the tribe now, 2020, is the healthy people around you. Even if it's one, it's still a tribe. 40 is great, but you also want them to be healthy.
We should probably wrap this up. I think we're already at like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Okay, so great talk again. And again, guys, I'm on the board and I do accept calls. I just took one last night. Messages, any resources you need on any level. We're not, I'm not against anything to where I can't get a call in the morning if you need help, emergency help. Again, you want to call your local numbers, but if anything like that, we have resources here you can call. But we're open to talk, text, message, through any social media and for help and for advice. That's what we're here. So make sure you utilize that. And Elisa, any last words?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I'll be signing off. So again, this is going to be for the narcissist and the neuropsychologist walking the bar, the self-help group on Facebook, and this will also be on the same name on the channel on YouTube. And I will see you next time. Lisa, stay on.